Thanks Shopify for sponsoring this video. This is yakitori. It's been around since the 1600s. They can be super cheap. They can also be expensive. It is the ultimate finger food. Today we are making yakitori out of everything I could find. So let's begin. We start off with this beautiful dry-aged ribeye. Now we're going to transform this into this. The first thing to do is to remove the bone, as the next step is to slice it extremely thin. You can definitely use a knife for this, but if you have a slicer at home, it makes the job a lot easier. The next thing to do is to go ahead and fold everything into itself. Once you're done, you want to stack them up just like this. The key here is to go as tall as your skewer. That way you can skewer through it easily. Talking about skewer, by the way, you definitely want to soak them. There are several different sizes you can choose. I recommend getting the small ones. Usually letting them soak overnight is the way to go. As the next step is to go ahead and cut the skewer. Now this will do two things. Make every single bite as tender as possible, and most importantly, it will cook super fast, which is exactly what you want. Because now that this is ready, it's time to set up the grill.
If you're trying out yakitori for the very first time, you don't need to buy your own grill for yakitori only. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set up my grill in order to make this awesome experience. Here's my setup. 1 brick, 2 brick. I'm gonna put one more over here. Now, I'll set it up like so. Now, it's okay if they're slightly apart because we want also a lot of airflow. And now I build the other side. And to finish it up, I got 2 irons right here on the top. And this is how I set up my yakitori grill, which is fairly easy, inexpensive, and using something I already have.
The next important item is charcoal. If you do it on an electric grill or a gas one, you will not have the same results. This is the charcoal we normally use in the United States. This is bichotan. Now, I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of drawbacks on using this. First of all, it is expensive. And second, it is difficult to use. It takes about 1 hour just to light it up. And on top of that, if you don't know how to work with it, the fire will put itself out quite quickly. So if you're doing yakitori for the very first time, use the regular charcoal you already have.
We got the charcoal super hot, exactly the way I want it. Now, it's time to grill.
Now the next thing to do is to go ahead and grill them. First, season them with a good amount of salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper. Then put them directly on the grill. The key here is to grill them as fast as possible. Remember, these are super thin, so high heat is the key. It should take no longer than 20 seconds to get a crust just like this. Keep flipping it until it starts getting golden brown, as the next step might be one of the most important one of them all, and that is the sauce. To be specific, the yakitori mother sauce. And to make it, it's super simple, and here's how. Everything starts off with these ingredients. We got chicken feet, ginger, and green onions. You want to go ahead and char everything up. When I say char, I mean it. Then throw all of the ingredients into a pan, followed by sugar and soy sauce. Let it simmer under low heat for about 2.5 hours. Once you have done so, take a look. This is what it should be looking like. As the next step is to go ahead and strain the sauce. In the end, you are left with this. I know the process might not be extremely appetizing, but the flavor that this produces is incredible. This sauce can be used for almost everything. On beef, it is absolutely delicious. Don't believe me? Well, let me show you.
Cheers.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, this one is fantastic.
Super juicy, super tender.
It's well seasoned, a little bit peppery.
Very flavorful. A nice charred crust on the outside.
I love me some sauce, and this sauce is perfect.
So good.
Moving on to our next one, we got chicken wings. And as you can see, they are not prepared the same way we do here in the US. And the flavor that is produced by doing this style is just insane. And here's how to do it. Everything starts off with this, the flats. First step is to separate the bones and open up the wings as much as possible. The only important thing you gotta keep in mind here is not to cut the skin. To add it to the skewer is quite simple. First, go through the skin and meat, then right under the bone, followed by the next bone as well, and then once again through the meat and skin. Repeat the whole process with one more chicken wing and add an additional skewer. In the end, you should have something like this. And to grill it, there's a specific way. First, we season it with salt and pepper. Start meat side down first. After about 2 to 3 minutes and before flipping it, we want to go ahead and baste it with a sauce. And this one is slightly different. The base is this ingredient, Wagyu fat. Add 2 tablespoons to a pan. Once it's fully melted, throw some garlic cloves into the food processor and process it on high. Now add that Wagyu fat that we just melted. Process once again, and this is our sauce for the chicken wings. As you already know, it's gonna bring an incredible flavor to it. And as soon as you flip it once, you can see we're starting to get a nice beautiful color, and most importantly, we're gonna be adding even more flavor by basting it over and over again. This one takes a little bit of time, but the end result is just phenomenal. To finish it off, you can always add a little bit of garlic powder if you like, as now the only thing left to do is to go ahead and eat them.
Oh,
That's good. Chicken is flavorful, very crispy skin.
Oh, this one's good. It has like a good garlic flavor, you know?
It's very moist on the inside, juicy.
I actually like this chicken. Nice.
Since our last one was super cheap, let's go with a more expensive one. These might be one of the best applications for Japanese Wagyu A5. That's because one steak can give you up to 10 skewers. It might be just the best way to satisfy a lot of people. And everything starts off with this, a Japanese Wagyu A5 New York strip. The first thing I like to do is to go ahead and remove all of the fat. Once that's done, we want to go ahead and cut it in small strips, keeping it a little bit less than half an inch thick. And as I'm doing so now, you can really appreciate the marbling of this cut. Just try to keep all of them the same size. That way they'll cook evenly. Then go ahead and add the skewers, and it is as easy as that. Like I said previously, this will feed the crowd, but cooking it's quite challenging. And here's the reason why. As you put them on the grill, everything starts nice and slow. But remember, you gotta cook them under high heat. And as soon as the fat starts rendering, everything gets chaotic. It is at this time that you need to move as fast as possible. You wanna have the fire heating it no longer than 5 seconds. It is what I like to call live action grilling. Now for best results, you can also add the mother sauce we just made previously. It goes really well with this, because once you have done so, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and try them.
Oh my God.
I've died and gone to heaven, everybody. This is so good.
Beautiful crust, perfectly seasoned.
It has a nice sweet flavor that balances out some of that richness, because boy, this is rich.
Highly recommend.
This is a treat.
If you haven't had this, you gotta try it.
Yes, Japanese Wagyu A5 is delicious. However, yakitori does not have to be expensive. Let me show you one of the cheapest one you can make and you will please everyone. I like to call these kafta. They are not traditionally from Japan, but it is just fantastic. And to make it, it's super simple. We start off with ground beef. Then I added shredded Gouda cheese, followed by finely chopped onions, parsley, salt and pepper, and to finish it off, my barbecue rub. Putting it on this yakitori mix is just fantastic. As now, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and mix everything up and add them to the skewer. You want to make this as tight as possible and be sure to make plenty of it. To cook them, we want it under medium-high heat. Remember, it's ground beef. We want to cook it all the way through. So if you try to put a sear too fast, it's not ideal. As soon as you start getting a crust, go ahead and flip them. Once everything is nicely golden brown, it's time to try.
Brazilian kafta.
This is what I stayed late for today.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. Super juicy.
Got that charcoal flavor. This is fire.
Holy this hamburger on a stick, really good.
This is perfect. This is fantastic.
Imagine a burger, but a little bit better. Because you could just...
To be honest, that kafta tasted extra good because of one ingredient, my rub. It is so good and I love sharing it with the world. And let me thank today's sponsor, Shopify, for helping me share it with you guys. The logistics of creating a product and shipping it to customers was definitely outside of my expertise. I mean, I know how to make that kafta taste amazing, but how do I create a product and get it to you guys? Here comes Shopify. They are a super easy to use, all-in-one commerce platform for anyone trying to start, grow, or manage a business. They support businesses like mine along their entire journey, from first sale to full scale. And they power more entrepreneurs than anyone else in the world. So it does not matter if you're new at this. They make it easy for you to take your business to the next level. Check out the many tools they have, easy to use selling options, and great customer marketing tools, among many others. Online, in person, or across major social platforms. If you have a product and you are ready to grow, check them out on the description down below. Thank you, Shopify, for powering my Guga's Rub and for sponsoring this portion of the video. And now let's jump right into the next yakitori.
The next one to grill might be everyone's favorite. We're talking about short rib. These are hard to beat. At the same time, quite easy to prepare. Everything starts off with these. The most important thing whenever you're looking for short ribs is marbling. For yakitori, we don't need the bone, so you want to go ahead and remove it. The idea here is to cut them nice and thin, and most importantly, keep everything the same size. That way, they'll cook evenly. Do not add too many to the skewers. We want these short ribs to cook nice and fast, as they will turn out delicious. I highly recommend making a lot of them. These are always everybody's favorite, and that's because we're going to make a simple sauce to go with it. We start with a little bit of soy sauce, followed by honey, sesame oil, a tiny bit of gochujang, which is Korean chili paste, followed by sesame seeds. Mix everything together because the sauce is done. And now to the grill we go. Always remember to season it with salt and pepper first. Lay them down on the grill under medium-high heat. Remember to rotate them and flip them as many times as needed. Right towards the end when you're almost done, go ahead and add the sauce. Once it's added, let it caramelize in the end. This will give these skewers an incredible flavor, and honestly, it might be one of my favorite ones. Don't believe me? Well, you just wait and see.
Yo,
Oh, mama, that's so good.
super juicy. The fats actually kind of like coat your tongue. This one's really nice.
Got a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a char.
Whatever sauce you put on this is amazing.
Cooking it in high heat makes a whole lot of difference. Charcoal, baby, let's go.
Like Guga says, 10 out of 10, will highly recommend. Love it.
Up to this point, we've been cooking a lot of meat. It's time to change things up. These are Shishito Peppers, quite popular in yakitori. To prepare them, it is ridiculously easy. Just go ahead and add skewers and just grill them until they are slightly charred. However, they have an acquired taste. Don't believe me? Well, check it out.
I'm a little bit of a baby for spice like Guga, but let's give this a shot.
This is definitely not my favorite.
To be honest, this shit tastes like I don't like peppers.
Surprisingly, not spicy at all. They're actually kind of sweet.
I've never been a big pepper guy. The taste really doesn't do it for me.
I mean, other stuff we've had is better, but this one's not that bad.
This is really bad.
Angel, where you at? You're supposed to be eating these greens with me. Come on.
Shishito peppers might not be for everyone. However, this next one is. That is, if you are willing to give it a try. Because it might sound weird, but it tastes incredible. And it's this, chicken hearts. In Brazil, they are extremely popular. And to prepare them, it is ridiculously easy. These already came clean, but if yours are not, make sure you rinse it, and most importantly, cut the fat that is in the end. You can leave a little bit like this, but usually they come full of it. Once they're fully clean, go ahead and add them to the skewer. In the end, 4 per skewers is good enough, as the next thing to do is to go outside and put them on the fire. After slightly seasoning them with salt and pepper, onto the grill they go. As soon as it changes color, go ahead and flip them. Here's one thing you gotta remember. We don't want to overcook them. Also, use the garlic sauce we used for the chicken wings previously. This will give them an incredible flavor. But honestly, they are delicious. And if you give them a chance, you will love them. Don't believe me? Well, just take a look at this.
Cheers. Really good.
I actually really like this one.
Well, this is probably the most flavorful one today.
A whole lot of juice on this. It's perfect.
I'm a fan. It's actually pretty good. It's good.
Now it's not going to be yakitori without fish. And for today I chose salmon. Now the preparation of it's quite simple. We started with the whole fillet. The key here is to remove the bloodline first. Once that's done, I went ahead and cut it in small individual pieces. Remember, the key is to keep them the same size. The next thing to do is to add kombu, which is seaweed. And to bring them back to life, you just gotta throw them in water. As you can see, once I was done, they are now ready for the grill. Once fully seasoned with salt and pepper, in we go under medium-high heat. As soon as they change a little bit of color, it's time to flip. And once you have done so, go ahead and add the mother sauce to it. It's gonna make this fish taste incredible. The most important thing is not to overcook it. And honestly, the more sauce you add, the better they will be.
Salmon.
Oh, that's good.
Really good.
Super juicy, super tender.
Salmon's nice and flaky, really moist.
And that salt on top, I love it.
Teriyaki and salmon go together hand in hand.
Savory, sweet, it's delicious.
This one's one of my favorites so far.
This is awesome. Delicious.
Now the next one is quite interesting. It is chicken balls. To make it, it's super simple. We start with ground chicken, followed by breadcrumbs, 1 egg, salt and pepper, and mixed everything together. All you gotta do is make them into balls and add them to the skewer. These can be quite tricky to grill, because remember, we need to cook it all the way through, and using the garlic sauce will give extra flavor. Grill them nice and slow until you start getting a beautiful color. And since it's chicken, I like to go ahead and give it an extra flavor of char, as the only thing left to do now is to go ahead and give them a try.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. I only wish I had a plate because wow.
Oh, damn, that's hot.
I'm not a fan.
It's good.
Who the hell likes chicken and GUGAFOODS? Ugh.
That is so good.
Is there a sauce? Can I get a sauce?
Everything else tasted great, but this, garbage.
I would love to know which one you guys love best, because I'll tell you one thing, that was a lot of cooking. And this concludes the Yakitori experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And remember, my book is out. If you have not gotten yours yet, make sure you go check it out, everybody, because it is an amazing book. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.